Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most unprofessional professional podcast in the YouTube space. I am your host, Zero Requiem, and we're back.
We are back, baby.
Yes, sir. Josh is back after missing, the last? Is it maybe the last two episodes?
I can't
No,
remember.
half. Let's say like an episode and a half.
Yes, because I remember I used Josh on one of my thumbnails. Because
Yeah, that
his
was
shit
the
crapped out.
last one.
The last one he wasn't on, and then the one prior, his thing it just shit itself.
It was a storm, actually.
Oh, that's right. It was a storm out in Cali. The few times that it would ever fucking rain over there.
I was like, damn, this is. I'm like, imagine if like the whole thing. Jeremy,
Eh.
Jeremy.
And then it's like, oh man. But hey, but it looks like I'm guessing it's bright and sunny out there in Cali right now because it's bright and sunny out here in South Dakota.
Yes, a little sunny. With the temperature just where I like it, actually. A high of 88. Right now it's 76.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
Yep. And for anybody, and of course, anyone who hasn't kept up with the channel, of course, outside of the podcast, I'm finally doing stuff that isn't just the podcast. I actually have been playing Chronos: The New Dawn, and
Hell yeah.
I will say this: it's a good time to be a horror game fan because I'm about halfway through Chronos, at least according to PlayStation, and that's probably gonna land perfectly on time when I start playing Silent Hill F. So that's gonna be exciting.
God, I'm looking forward just to playing a Silent Hill game, period.
Hey, I would say, from what I'm hearing though, like supposedly there's like controversies about Silent Hill F, mostly with its combat, but I'm not gonna say anything until I play the game. So only time will tell on that one. But good time to be a horror game fan because I'm looking forward to next year with Resident Evil Requiem. I'm just a Resident Evil fan as a whole, so never mad about that. But aside from all that stuff, I think this could potentially be our longest episode, depending on how long this recording takes. Because we got a spicy one today. It's gonna be gaming hot takes, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm a bit selfish. I kind of just put all of my hot takes, and I don't know how you guys are gonna feel about them. Whether you agree, disagree, doesn't matter to me.
We gonna stir the pot, man.
Pretty much.
All right, I'll make this easier. It sucks.
Okay. Half of the opinions are probably you fucking suck.
Yeah.
All right. But we're gonna just go. We're just gonna dive straight into it, and first one, I would say this. Despite the hate and all the other controversies about the game, Fortnite is the pinnacle of free-to-play games.
Yeah. I would agree with that statement.
Yeah, and the reason I say it's a pinnacle of free-to-play games, because even though it is mimicking a lot of, even from a battle royale perspective, it's mimicking the other games. Like the reboot system is one, the currency system is another. Obviously, taking aspects from Apex Legends and Call of Duty Warzone. But I think overall, just the one thing I would say about Fortnite, it keeps a gameplay loop very refreshing every season, which is something that the other two games I would argue kind of have a hard time doing. Because what is Apex? It has the hero system, but then that's it. That's the only thing that makes it refreshing, and then it varies in its map designs. Call of Duty Warzone, Pandemic Warzone was peak, and then it just fell off a cliff from there. And that,
I like to remind myself of those days because I remember when the PS4 and the Xbox One were super, 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 super popular, and then every game was getting even more expensive. And I was looking for a game that I could like, uh, play with my friends. I missed those old days of the Red Dead Redemption, the Call of Duty, the even the Gears of War type deal. And so I thought, man, what kind of game is there out there? And then I thought to myself, there isn't, or there is, but you just can't afford it right now. There was this video game Fortnite, and it started on all these platforms, and I started to see my friends, my adult grown ass friends, play this game on their phones, and I'm like, oh, this seems kind of cool. What is this? I'm like, oh yeah, what is it called? What is it? A battle royale is, right? I'm like, yeah, I know that. I know what those are. Well, check it out, man. This one's pretty freaking fun. It was like it looks kind of cartoonishy, like childishy. I'm like, I know, but it's pretty fun and addicting. And so I very much kept playing on the mobile system for years, just because it was free. And then I think it finally moved to the bigger consoles for free and stuff like that. And I got a new console, and it was a marriage made in heaven after that.
Yeah. I mean, I would say Fortnite definitely was the catalyst for a lot of things, like in terms of like the
Yeah.
free to play market, and that's considering that it's not just the fact that it started on consoles; it's also that it spread its wings like all over the place. Like nowadays, there's no way you cannot unhear Fortnite, and I always make the joke that this game's gonna stay forever. The only way like
Mhm.
Fortnite legit dies is Epic goes bankrupt or something, which good luck because this game is still making billions of dollars. Even what they consider a loss is like $1 billion. It's crazy to think about.
Crazy.
Um, Kevin, do you have like any opinions on this hot take?
Honestly, when it comes to Fortnite, it's how can I say it? It's fun. I like I like playing it, but it does have its moments though. It does have where fucking like those times where we're playing or we have like good moments, and then there's times like where like what the fuck just happened,
Yeah,
and I kind of hate it where times where I like sometimes they nerf like the wrong guns or they fucking buff
or
the wrong guns
or they
or
take
they
away certain
remove
things.
or they
Yeah.
take away certain things. I again, it's a good game overall. I just feel like sometimes they do have to leave like some things like just the way that they are.
Yeah, I would probably because like I could definitely make a case that like every time we try to play like regular BR, like I almost like feel so bored playing it just because they took away all the key like the key parts of the season, which is like medallions, some of the good weapons and the fun ones are gone, and the replacements are subpar at best. But
Parkour.
I mean, at least the hammer is back. I mean, I love using that, but then at the same time, it's like, dude, there's no reason to fight bosses. There's no and only certain weapons are good, and some of the gimmicky stuff is very gimmicky. I mean, at least it's not like the Rex season where it was literally the only way to win was using the gimmick. That's when I think Fortnite goes at its worst when the gimmick is the only way to win.
Parkour.
But even and I haven't even mentioned like how Fortnite being the pinnacle of the free to play games market, like it's even going after Roblox now, despite Roblox being the worst aspects of free to play games, especially with certain controversies that came out about it. But the metaverse thing, like, I mean, granted, the whole UE5 creator, like, a lot of potential, but man, that potential fell off. Like now all the maps are just some stupid shit that we would see normally on Roblox. But who knows? Maybe somebody will make an actual like high quality one, and hopefully it gets popular, and not blow up everyone's like consoles or PCs. But moving on from that one, this is another big take. But I personally think that GTA 6 and Elder Scrolls 6 is not going to please everyone.
It's gonna be a fucking Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it got announced like a decade ago, and we have not heard shit since the teaser.
This Bethesda needs to just calm the fuck down.
See, the problem with Bethesda though is like they're supporting Fallout 76 right now because it's actually in a much better like playable state, but still, I mean, it's Fallout 76, and then on top of it, they're probably going to be remastering Fallout 3 like fairly soon. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it gets announced like within the year. And on top of it, they also got that Fallout TV show coming out. So they're more focused on Fallout over Elder Scrolls right now. And not gonna lie, this shit is just like gonna be like Metroid Prime 4 for like the longest time, where it got announced and we only have a teaser image, and that's it.
They probably learned their mistakes from Fallout 76. Be like, okay, we should stop promising stuff we can't provide.
Well,
Or at least let's stop promising stuff we can't provide in a certain amount of time.
yeah, because like I said, like if you pull up Elder Scrolls 6 like right now, it's, I mean, unless they all of a sudden announce something after I upload this, there isn't gonna be fucking anything. There hasn't been shit for that game. Like the only things like we've gotten from Bethesda like in the past like few years is literally Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion getting its remake, and then Fallout 76 getting progressively updated. That's it.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
And then I only say I put GTA 6 along with that as well, just because like it is starting to reach like ungodly levels of hype. Like we're talking like Cyberpunk 2077 before it released type of hype. Now, I will say this. I think with the amount of, considering that this is Rockstar, and I mean the only duds they've really had are mostly that GTA trilogy getting re-released, and then I'd say just them releasing the original Red Dead Redemption, but with like a third of the content missing at like $50. That's where I would say they messed up on. But everything else has been pretty good so far with them. Like, I trust them on those ends. It's just, you know, hey, they messed up on two things. But I will still be as critical as ever with Rockstar. Like, the second they mess up, you got to call them on it. We're not having some revisionist history with them. That's just how I think we got to hold every company nowadays. You know, we want, if we're passionate about something, we got to hold them to the highest degrees. And especially someone like Rockstar, like the company that shouldn't fail. But if they do, guess what? I'm going to be probably one of the first people to call them on it. But that's just that's my opinion on those games. Right now, at least, like, yeah, GTA 6. And there's also, I saw that apparently there's a rumor that it might get delayed to October from Tom Henderson. I'm not 100% sure how to feel about it. I mean, Tom Henderson is a pretty reliable source when it comes to stuff like this. But if it gets delayed, it gets delayed. So be it. I honestly wouldn't mind.
Again with the fucking delay when it comes to GTA 6. Like, dude, it's like how fucking... Because they redid fucking pre-orders for it. That was like, what? Pre-orders for what? March? Was it March or May?
It's in May.
So it's like, how the fuck are you guys doing fucking like delays on a game that you guys already fucking dropped the pre-orders for?
What it
That's
probably,
crazy.
if I have to take a guess, if the reason being that they delayed it, if the October delay is true, that likely means that GTA Online is dropping the same day. That's my only guess. But even then, that is
Yeah, but
weird.
again, yeah, because the shit is like you already have the game like pre-order. You guys were like, oh, okay, for sure it's gonna drop this. There's no other fucking delays, shit like that. And then if it is true, fucking they did it until October. It's kind of like, what the fuck? Like, well,
Well,
like,
I
what's
well
how you
hear
gonna
me.
how you gonna? I'm gonna say like, how you gonna like, um, not compromise, fucking how you gonna make the fans that fucking pre-order the fucking games and everything? How you gonna how you're gonna like fix it for them? Because then you go from May to October, and that's like what additional 5 more months they have to
Yeah,
wait.
about 5 months. I mean, here's the other thing too that I would to play devil's advocate. I think the reason that they would consider delaying to October, that's holiday time. They want to capitalize on sales, but then again, I think even if, but at the same token, May is also the same. Regardless of whenever GTA 6 drops, I think it's still going to be like the one of the bigger selling holiday games, like no matter what. But that's just me. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate on the October release. But this isn't. That's not new though. For them to delay a game that people pre-ordered, I mean, shit, we've seen that happen multiple times, dude. We've even seen studios push the games like ahead of their release date, like after pre-orders. I can't think of it right now, but I'm certain that it's happened before.
Again,
The
it's I don't know. I find it stupid. And then
Well, here's the also Kevin. The other thing I just realized, there technically hasn't really been set up for a pre-order. They just have a page that it's coming soon because we would have known the price of the game, and we still don't know. It's probably gonna be $100. I wouldn't be surprised.
For GTA?
I think so. I think
who the hell is
Rockstar's.
buying me the game?
I think it'll be close to that number. I don't think it'll be that much.
Do you think it'll be 80?
I think it'll be 80. It's so popular that if you increase that shit, I mean, wow, you
I
turn
think.
Rockstar.
See. Here's the thing. The only reason and this sort of leans into the what's gonna be the next hot take for me. But I think GTA is literally the only game that like is justified to go up to like 80 and above. Everything else does
Yeah,
not make
literally.
sense. Like, who the hell is
Yeah.
gonna pay $80 for Mario Kart?
Isn't that 100?
80.
No, it's 80.
Oh, that's crazy. Still,
Like, dude.
I forgot who said. Like, maybe I was just hearing it wrong, but it sounds like Wii games, or not Wii games, but Nintendo wants to make $100 games.
Oh, they 100% want to. Like, pretty much like all the like, dude, Nintendo and Capcom even they want to increase the price of their games in general. Well, Nintendo is not a surprise because they're very much a business, and Capcom is just their justification is well, games are just getting expensive to make, and I mean at the quality they make it at, it makes sense. So, it is what it is.
I
on
hope they
that.
have the newest in technology. That's all
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
that RE engine is still pretty fucking good. That's why the games look as good as they are now. But but to kind of jump onto the next take and what I was alluding to earlier. So in my opinion, I think $50 for just any video game, that should be the standard price. Anything above 50 is like deluxe versions and above.
Honestly, I feel like just even at the 60 price.
Okay.
Deluxe sounds good at 100.
Hmm. Well, I think that's. Well, that's more like I would consider like anything at 100 is like collectors, like a collector's edition of games. Deluxe,
Mhm.
I would say is like within the like 70 $80 range. That's what I would consider deluxe. But the only reason, and I mean, obviously, like if we could even talk about like a little bit of like collector stuff too, like especially like the physical collector's editions, like some of them are justified to be like way above, but then some are like, holy fuck, it's expensive. Like Josh and I were talking about 007 First Light before we recorded the show,
Oh
and
yeah.
obviously if you pre-order the game, you get a free digital deluxe upgrade, which is awesome. But the one thing I actually forgot to tell Josh is there is a physical collector's edition that's coming out, and it's going to come with the golden gun from GoldenEye.
Hells yes.
The only thing is that's $300.
I swear.
But only thing is like that's definitely. I mean, it's a collector's edition, but I want to know if that gold is actually like almost like a metal. Because if that shit's aluminum, fuck you.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would be concerned on when it comes to that the golden gun collectible piece. But I mean, hey, it would be a pretty cool piece to have like in a collector's room.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I say $50 is like the standard price. Kevin says 60 should be standard, which is, I mean, that's completely valid. I don't know. What do you feel, Josh? Like, what should be the standard price of just video games? Like, you're not getting any like fancy shit. You're just buying the game and that's it.
Oh, I remember growing up. Yeah, it went from 30 to 60 to whatever these real engines
Whatever
are
prices are
making.
right now.
I personally believe with inflation and all that shit. I guess your base rate is 60 still with like an average of 70 to 75,
Yeah, that's.
you know?
Mm.
Only because I'm realizing that the technology is not where it used to be. Like it's nice.
It's like a lot. Everything looks a lot better. Just more fidelity
Yeah.
and the like. But yeah, okay.
So I don't disagree with 60 or 70, but if you're charging a base rate game at 80, there better be like a subscription, just like
Or like some
to
bonus
some other
it
thing with
comes
it.
with, because
Exactly.
I mean the big thing is obviously like what we mentioned earlier. Like I think GTA 6 is the only game that realistically is justified at 80 at its base price. Everything else on top of it is
Literally.
like really fancy shit. And then obviously like why the hell is Mario Kart still 80? I still don't get that. I'm gonna be holding Nintendo to that. I'm gonna hold Nintendo to that every fucking time. Why is Mario Kart 80?
I guess it's that popular of a you know what I mean? Like you put it on,
The
you're gonna
only
spend about 2 hours on it.
But the only thing is like why would you I mean, look, I get it. It's Mario Kart with a Gran Turismo aspect where it's an open world, but then it's like what is it beyond that? It's like I need to like dude, $80. It's not an $80 game. So that's just my opinion of it. Uh, but moving on. Um, next hot take.
Movie.
Uh, and I don't know about you guys, but for me, art style is a lot better than realistic graphics, in my opinion.
Hmm.
And when I say like art style, we're talking like you can have games that sort of meet in the middle, like what Josh is playing, like Hogwarts Legacy. I'm sure, you know, that one is realistic, but it has a style to it.
Yeah.
And then
The
another one that I always
it
mention. Go on.
the one thing about Well, yeah, it's open world. There should be a. I perhaps don't know it by name, but it's this open world. Stuff like Batman, Spider Man, Hogwarts Legacy. They all have the same um setup, same game style. With like challenges. You got the main story, and if you're lucky, you have extra an extra thing. Like it was gonna be like for this game, it was gonna be like Quidditch, but I don't know what happened in that department. They're
Yeah,
like,
like
nope, we're not gonna have Quidditch here. Maybe next time. They did come out with a new.
Hogwarts
They
Legacy
did come
2.
out with a new single like it's just Quidditch game, and no one really plays it.
Yeah, like I would say, and the only reason I say like art style over like realistic like graphics, because like I think it's also because we have plateaued in terms of how can we make a lot of things look real. That it's
Yeah.
that to me it's like we're almost like I don't know if descent is um I how the what the fuck is the word desensitized. Like I think that's just where it's starting to fall into, in my opinion. Like, I'd argue and again, game that I'm always going to keep mentioning for a long time, Expedition 33. It's the middle. It looks like a AAA game where like some of the character models look great, but it also has a unique art style in terms of environments and even the enemy designs as well. And I think those are going to, and usually games with with like a unique art style are going to be remembered more for compared to games that are ultra realistic. Because
Mhm.
I'd argue even like God of War, for example, like the Norse ones, those are going to be recognizable not just because how good it looks, but also on top of it, it's the unique environments that they have. And we could even go as far as like the indie games as well that a lot of people that I've been playing. Like one of them is obviously Hollow Knight, and obviously Hollow Knight Silk Song did just release recently. And I would say that has a pretty good, unique, like 2D art style that's not seen in many games. But that's just my opinion. When it comes to kind of like graphical styles like that,
Mhm.
like I don't mind games looking realistic, but then it's like when you're kind of like looking in like from a grand scale, not from like a like a centralized point, it begins to blend in. Versus like some other games that have like a unique looks to them. And that's what I would
Mhm.
gravitate to more personally. Like it. Go on, Kev.
Oh no, sorry. Um, honestly, there's games that do have like good art styles, but I don't know. It's hard to choose because the thing is like you want something balanced too, something that has a good art style, and then like kind of like it mixed in with the like with kind of like realistic graphics. Because again, it's like there's some games again like has crappy like fucking art style, but the graphics on it's good, or just fucking again is I don't know like for me it's like I want something where it's like kind of like balance, like it's
A little.
where
You want like a little bit of both.
yeah.
I mean, I could see where you're coming from, but again, the problem is then like when you have a game that when you have considering the current market where everybody wants things to look as real as possible, it's like to me it just doesn't become interesting anymore.
Yeah, like
The reason
okay. Well, you mentioned this, and it reminded me of Red Dead Redemption 2, where they went for like more of a movie aspect, and I'm like, dude, I miss the other controls. Like it's so much smoother back then, and although it was, they were trying to go for that realistic thing too. It wasn't like Red Dead Redemption 2, where I was like, dude, this is like I'm watching like a real life movie. And then the gameplay suffered for it. And so, nowadays not everybody plays Red Dead Redemption 2 online. It's
Well,
not
I mean,
dinosaurs.
Rockstar also just killed their own games online like chances because
Yeah.
GTA keeps making money. So, but yeah, I do see
Ah,
I do see what you mean though. Like with like Red Dead 2, it's like it's very cinematic.
yeah, dude. I'm like,
But
dude, I don't like this. I want to be a cowboy, not Clint Eastwood.
I mean, I can understand that. Yeah, like because like I sometimes have that feeling about Red Dead as well. Like I think control wise, it's kind of like it's a little too like arduous versus
Mhm.
like the simplicity that Red Dead 1 and even GTA 5 have.
God.
But I can understand that one. But I think that games like where realism really peak, in my opinion, I would probably say is what we just mentioned, Red Dead 2 and The Last of
Mhm.
Us. I would argue those two games is where like realistic graphics is where they peaked. And then everything else is just like now it's just blending in.
Yeah.
Uh, but so I say balance. So Kevin says balance. I go with art style. What is yours, Josh? Like, is it kind of like the same as Kevin or just art style?
I'm for whatever plays the fastest
So
and
more
isn't
gameplay.
going, yeah, and isn't going to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to, I'm not going to complain if I see a bit of pixels, if that makes any sense.
Oh, if it just like that, the slightest like drop or something, or like the slightest like
Yeah,
weird pixelation.
exactly, right? Like, okay, that's fine. But as long as I can, as long as it's playable, like,
I'm gonna kind
I
of
don't
skip.
know.
I'm actually gonna kind of skip around on our original list real quick because that kind of does lead into like one of my hot takes, which is gameplay loop over story. In my opinion, is a
Mm,
so when I say like because when I talk about gameplay loop, obviously I want something that wants to keep me hooked. I don't mind a game having a good story. It's always great to have a game with good story nowadays. But I think at
right,
its
right, right.
core, gameplay loop should be the reason that you play a game. Because the second you're done with
Yeah,
the story, you're done with the story.
that's it.
Like, I'd even argue, like what Josh's point earlier with Red Dead Redemption 2. I think the story is fantastic. I actually think it's one of the best, like, stories in a game. But its
Yep.
gameplay loop is a little, kind of suffers a little bit. And I could give you, like, and like, I could even give another example the Doom franchise. There is a story, it exists. It's just, it's not the central point of the game. The point to playing Doom is because you want to murk like a bunch of demons in one spot.
Mm.
So that's just my way of looking at stuff like that for games. Like even I'm trying to think like another game. Like here's another one like Balatro, which is the fucking poker roguelite. It's a game that looks weird as hell, I'll admit. It is an indie game, it's made by one person. Holy shit, it's fun though. The loop like kept me in to keep playing that game. And
That's crazy.
like and I think that's what a lot of like even like the old games back then, that's what they had done right. A story was secondary, the gameplay loop was first. And I think
Mhm.
that's why we always look fondly at those games like over the current like genre right now. And that's not to discredit like the current games, but we should know that like we play games just to keep playing them, almost like an arcade mentality, I'd say.
Literally. Let's play it again. Let's play it again.
yeah, just keep it going. Keep the ball rolling.
Rolling, 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 rolling.
Gently down the stream. No.
Jesus. All right. So that little deter. Let's see. Um, another hot take I do have in terms of like just video game exclusives. I know Kevin and I have been adamant about like exclusivity is kind of like not really that important nowadays in terms of like game consoles. But I would argue this that right in terms of exclusives today, they are definitely not at the same level as like exclusives in the previous generations.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like we could even go as far back as like, with when Sony had Crash Bandicoot as their initial mascot, and obviously Nintendo with Mario and Sega with Sonic. Usually games like that are the reason that we had really good quality exclusives. Nowadays, all the games are pretty much just going to each other's consoles, and in terms of just looking at it from a Foundation perspective, they're all the same games. They just have different ways of doing it. And you could even argue, and I'm pretty sure, even like with shooters as well, like back, obviously Microsoft has Halo, had Gears of War, for example, and then Sony has Killzone, Uncharted as like their shooters. That's how I kind of view with exclusives. It's just like the levels of quality of exclusives back then are way better versus the exclusives of today, because today's exclusives are going to either PC or a different console.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's just my opinion on those guys.
I do kind of miss having like those exclusive games, because there's times where it's like it's like if you have a PlayStation or you have like a Xbox or anything, you have like those games that you just wanna like just be playing like without, like if your friends like have a PlayStation or if they have an Xbox, you could just play those games just with them. But again, it's kind of cool that there's not that much of exclusives anymore. But sometimes it's like it's good just to have it's good to have it.
Yeah,
because sometimes it's like you just want to play a game where it's like
only this console base.
Yeah,
because like
then it's like some.
Go on, Kevin. Sorry.
Because it's like sometimes like it's like I find it funny even because like how they do the mods like on the PC for like exclusive games, but at the same time it's like you don't want to like deal with those mods, or you don't want to see those mods. You just want to see like the game, how it is.
Yeah, like you just want to just play the game. You don't want to like muddle the experience too much.
Yeah.
Maybe that's, but then again, that's also kind of why like some games just don't have mod support like that. But I do see what you mean though. With some games that they should be exclusive to their console fan base, because like let's put it this way. The only game that is like kind of trying to quote unquote keep up the console wars right now is currently Gears of War Reloaded. Because everybody's playing on Xbox, whether they bought it or they have it on Game Pass, and then you have like a smaller player base on PlayStation. You know, it's just that's kind of like the closest thing you're going to have to a console war, especially because you have like those former pro players that are coming back to Gears. Now, granted, even though Gears Reloaded is kind of an iffy choice for the Gears game to play, it still remains true to the fact that like the Xbox player base are going to be significantly better, and they would rather play against either PC players or Xbox players. But hey, it's still cool nonetheless. But yeah, but to kind of bring it back to like the point of like exclusives, I would only say, in terms of today's exclusives, like there's definitely some that do benefit from having a bigger player base. Like to the same token, Helldivers 2. I mean, just the fact that it's already on PlayStation and PC, that's already big. But then adding Xbox, and then that they almost added like 600,000 players to the player base. That's huge. But I would only say like co-op the only games that I would say work for not being an exclusive, practically third parties. That's what I would say is the best way to have crossplay. If you're a third party studio, oh hell yeah, crossplay for sure. But if it's exclusives, I mean, in a way, I mean, I may as well say like what is kind of like my other hot take is like the way that like I think exclusivity will eventually circle its way back. But I would say that's probably not going to be until like 2 generations from now, once like all the companies have recouped their, their money. That's just my opinion on that one. Okay. Next topic, or the next hot take I have, this is gonna be kind of more. I accidentally put remakes twice accidentally on this one, but what I meant to put was remakes. In order for a game to be classified as a remake, it needs to have like full gameplay changes while maintaining the same story beats, and remasters are just straight graphic upgrades and that's it. With like maybe a couple of quality of life changes, but for the most part, like it's practically the same game. That's what I consider like a remake versus a remaster. Anyway,
shit. Like honestly, when it comes to like to remakes, like
remasters,
yeah. I just think of like fucking how they do like remakes or remasters or not. Yeah, kind of like for shows. How sometimes they just like remaster a show where they just
they keep the same cast, but they add like a few things.
No, like say like basically like they have the original video or the original like
original
video.
I know what you mean. Okay, I know what you mean. Got it.
And then they just go from like 1080 and then they add some scenes that they didn't add like on like originally on the original run.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then for remasters, that's for remaster. Then for remakes is basically like remake it with like a whole brand new cast. Like that's how I think for like remakes and remasters. Like if they remake it, like remake the whole story, but try to follow from the original, but just they just remade it differently, or they try to
make it look like better, quote unquote.
Yes,
because I'd even argue like, if we're gonna talk about remakes, like the whole Final Fantasy VII project, that's practically it is a remake, but it's also a sequel to the original FF7 as well. Like that's what I would consider a full remake. Like even and if we even go further and if we talk about other games, already Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4, those are full remakes. Granted, content did get cut on 3, but still nonetheless, that's a remake through and through.
Yeah,
Mhm.
again, like I feel like sometimes it's like not better, but it's kind of like kind of
It's
remastering like the games, but making sure that it stays true to the original
mm-hmm.
content, but just make it in a way where it doesn't fall out from like how it originally was.
Yeah. Yeah. I could definitely say that. That's a good way to put it. Josh, do you have like any opinions on that? Like remakes versus remasters?
Uh, let's see. Let me get an example. Well, a remake would be like Hitman. A remaster would probably be something like, um, oh, Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, Demon Souls is definitely more of a remaster because it is just like it's a full upgrade from graphical upgrade. I mean, I haven't played the original Demon Souls, so I can't speak on it, but
I really liked the if you're gonna remaster something, hope that it's going to be the same, just better graphics and like extra content, like behind the scenes and the making of, and shit we didn't get with the original stuff.
like a cut
Um,
content kind of like thing.
exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, this is gonna be in here, but not anymore, type of shit, but whatever. And so, um, something like, hmm, with okay, like with the re with the remake, uh, it's still the same Hitman. You know what I mean? Like, okay, kill the same target different ways. But it kind of lost its luster with the fact that it's not just killing people or killing one person different ways. There's other aspects to the game. Like you could buy like extra content so you could like include it in the way that you kill them, and it's just it's weird. It's just a little weird. Like if you remake something, I feel like it's a harder chance because there's a nostalgia aspect to video games that people just like. You know what I mean? The simplicity is what gives away. You know what I mean? Um, I mean, there's only so many times that you can remake, Pac-Man or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, it has to have the same structure, and if it's like, and if the maze is too long, you know what I mean, and it has other things, it's a completely different other game, if that makes any sense. So it's
So
hard
kind of
to,
so basically like there's a certain like line you have to hit for the game to be considered a remake before it eventually becomes its own thing.
yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
because it's not like Fortnite is a remake. It just keeps on changing.
Yeah, the game that's just a live service. It just changes. Like yeah, you can
Like,
put the
wow.
same you can put the whole OG thing. Like you could put the old map in the game, but that doesn't mean it's a remake. It's just
Yeah, right.
it's an asset. That's an asset flip essentially.
Yeah.
Um yeah. I think that's a good way to uh differentiate between remakes and remasters.
Mhm.
Uh excuse me guys. Sorry. Okay. Next hot take, and I may as well just put all these companies in as like the entire take. So, I'll start with the shit companies. EA, Ubisoft, WB Games, and Activision, in my opinion, are amongst one of the worst gaming companies as a whole, along with Nintendo. However, the difference is that I think Nintendo is also one of the greatest.
You're right about Nintendo right now.
But
Maybe. And then I know a lot of Activision games that I actually do play, and if they're on, I'll play them. I won't play them all day, but I'll play them for a bit. I think it just reminds me of what is it called? I mean, Activision's got stuff like Call of Duty
Crash
and
Bandicoot.
Skate and
No, I thought Skate is
I don't know.
EA. Skate's EA.
Oh, okay.
Tony Hawk has is
Mm,
Activision though.
there you go. That's what I grew up with Project 8.
So yeah.
It's,
And the reason I listed EA, Ubisoft, WB, and Activision kind of like in the same category is because they are pretty much they're the worst companies for the same exact reason, which is being general greed and laziness in terms of like their innovations.
mm,
Versus like Nintendo, I put Nintendo as the worst because the fact that they're ultra protective of their IPs, like almost to the point that they don't give a shit about anybody. Like it's kind of hard to be a Nintendo fan when they don't care about you. But
that's just ridiculous.
but the games that Nintendo makes though are at its core fundamentally good games. But that's it. They're very much a fundamental company that they're very good at. Like in terms of being a game developer. As a business, they're very fucking annoying.
Hmm.
And obviously, when I mentioned earlier, EA, Ubisoft, WB, Activision, just corporate greed and like shit. Like I think Ubisoft wanted to make an NFT game, and that shit. Oh, that was beyond dead in the water.
God.
Collect NFTs.
Fucking collecting NFTs, and then obviously they're trying to use and then the AI BS,
NFT.
and then fucking using AI. Like dude, fucking Activision. We saw it in Call of Duty. Like there was literally like a Black Ops set or Black Ops 6 loading screen with a zombie and he has 6 fingers. And then apparently Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 has AI in it according to one of our friends. Which that's just
Dang,
that's tragic.
that's tragic.
Wonk wonk wonk.
Mhm.
Wank, wank, wank.
Yeah. That's just my opinion though of those companies. I'm sure I can figure out another company I would probably dislike a lot, but that's kind of those I think are the easiest ones to say. Like, yeah, I hate those companies. I'd even argue like Rockstar is sometimes like that too, but they're greedy, but but in the same time they do have quality games.
Or they make up like their greed with fucking like putting out actually like good games.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say because they're kind of like in terms of like the game like companies that pull like every sin possible, but they do it so well. Epic Games is one with Fortnite, obviously, and then
Yeah.
arguably Rockstar as well, because they actually put quality games, even though they're super greedy as a fucking company.
Oh,
But it that's just that's what I'm saying. Like you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but that's just how I feel about it. Okay, here's one that I think you guys might like this opinion or you might disagree with this opinion. But in my opinion, I think generally speaking, since 2019, I think that's when gaming just went down or it started going into a downward slope. So that's about 6 years. 6 years now. 2019 is when I think gaming starting to trend downwards with a couple hits here and there.
Honestly, I don't even remember any good games in 2019 or
Modern
like
Warfare
the
2019.
everything. I didn't really play like
Oh, really?
Call of Duty. Yeah, I didn't play Modern Warfare 2019. I think I started playing. Fuck. I
What?
think I was playing Warzone, but I wasn't playing it as much because I was on Xbox during that
Mm.
time.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna consider, like, I say, like, the only reason I say that is because, like, I pinned two games specifically as, like, the reason that I think game design started to get very weird or too safe, which is Modern Warfare 2019 and Mortal Kombat 11 specifically. So my problem with MW 2019 is, like, fundamentally as a game, I think is very fucking good. My problem was the map design was, in my opinion, shit. There's no other way to put it. They only had one good map, which was Kill House, I believe. That small one, or like the traditional 3 lane one. That's pretty small. Is it Kill House or Shoot House, Kevin?
I think it's Shoot House.
Shoot House. Yeah, Shoot House is the only, in my opinion, the only good map to come out of MW 2019. But the only reason I don't like those other maps is because they tried to be like Battlefield with their map designs. Like, if you want more campy kind of like safe space designs, that's Battlefield. Because in that game it makes sense. In Call of Duty, fuck no. Call of Duty is a game you're supposed to just like not give a shit about anything and then just run around, have fun. Versus like Battlefield, you kind of could have that same thing, but if you do want to play traditional, it rewards you for playing traditional.
Talking about Battlefield, I just want to fucking start playing Battlefield again.
Hey, Battlefield 6 is
Dude, I
around the corner.
downloaded it, so
Hey, Battlefield 6 is around the corner, so. But and the reason I bring up Mortal Kombat 11 specifically is because obviously it's a severe departure from Mortal Kombat X, and it's a very defensive heavy game, and I hate that shit so much. Like, I don't get like the fact that I'm getting punished for beating someone up. How does that make sense?
School your rules. No, okay.
That to me is a very bad fighting game when you reward somebody who you're rewarding someone getting their ass kicked versus the person doing the ass kicking just gets punished for it. That doesn't make sense to me in a fighting game. Like, that's where, like, in terms of like fighting games, like, that's why I always put like Mortal Kombat X as like one of the greatest NRS games of all time, in my opinion. Or like in terms of as a fighting game, that's one of the best. At least you would have a chance to actually like fight back versus like MK11. It's like, fuck you, we don't care. I'd even argue like MK1 as well is kind of weird. Like, it's like so oppressive heavy that it's like it's kind of stupid to even try anything defensive. But that's just how I look at it. Did you have an opinion, Kevin?
No, again, because for me it's like every time I'm playing fucking those kind of games with you guys, I just want to quit.
That's what the training room is for.
Even with the fucking training room, it still makes me want to quit.
It's mentality right there, brother.
I'm already depressed enough. You're more depressed.
All right. Well, quickly, I'll see if I could let me see if I could pick another big one. Okay.
I thought I got rid of it.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of lump this one together. So what I think this is gonna be kind of a two-part hot take. So in my opinion, specifically Call of Duty and sports games, I think should be annual titles, not yearly.
Wait.
Honestly, yeah.
What does that mean?
So when I say annual, I mean like they have. So let's just say let's release the next Call of Duty. but the next Call of Duty after won't be for like 2-3 years.
Hmm. Hmm.
And they're always going to be on the same studio. And then I say that with sports games as well because right now in terms of sports games, each company pretty much or like EA owns two of them, NBA and then 2K owns one. Actually, technically two if you're counting WWE as well. Like this is how I would do it. So for Call of Duty, every 2-3 years a new Call of Duty comes out. Fully, full innovation and the like. It's completely fresh while you're still supporting the previous game. And then for sports titles, you could have a new like sim based like your Maddens, your FIFAs, your NBAs, and your WWEs. Every 2 years is going to be like a new game, and then in between you're going to have like an arcadey title, or at least like something to fill out the void. That's how I would do it personally. Or even like 2-3 years for those the sim based games. That's how I would look at it.
Honestly, yeah, because it's like, or these like kind of like do it like how Fortnite does it, where it's like just call it like NBA something, and then have
Just like
like those
regular like
upgrades or
roster like a
yeah,
regular
and
roster
then
update.
yeah. Because again, it's pretty stupid. Because every fucking year, like the new shit for the same thing. I get it. Sometimes there is like one or two differences, but it's like
It's
every
one or two
goddamn
differences
fucking
for like $70.
yeah.
And that's why I always will shit on, let's put it this way, Call of Duty players and the sports gamers. I will always shit on them for that reason alone.
Hmm.
I'm looking, and Josh, I'm looking at all your friends who keep playing fucking FIFA.
I absolutely love FIFA.
Well, I mean, let's put it. I mean, I hate to be that person. It's literally like it's a fucking. It's called an abusive relationship. That's how I look at old sports gamers. You guys like paying for the same shit for like one or two differences at $70.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And that's why I don't. That's why I don't play that shit.
What is it called?
Because I know one of our Warzone buddies. Um, I always see him play FIFA, and I start to give the bombastic side eye. But that's me though. And I would recommend like every other game to play. Like shit, I would even say like bring back the street series for any of these sports games if you want like an arcadey title. Petition for NBA Street Volume 2 to be pushed out to be a remake or anything, please, for the love of fucking God.
I know, right?
But that's just my opinion on stuff like that. Especially because like when you're playing like these games, the fact that like whatever you spend on the game doesn't carry over to the next, like that to me is stupid.
And
That's like
well,
the
with Call
that's
of Duty, they were doing it for like Modern Warfare,
and
and
they did
then
it for
they are gonna yeah, I think just did it for like Modern Warfare
2 and 3.
uh,
Yeah, they did it. They're not
two
doing it
and
for
three.
Black Ops. So
But again, it's like with NBA and FIFA's like, dude, it's like you're
and
getting
Madden.
these. Yeah, Madden. It's like you're spending your money on all these fucking like shit, and you can't even fucking get like the characters that you fucking maxed out. You can't fucking transfer your player or anything. Again, don't play don't play those kind of games. But still, it's kind of like fucking wasting money on shit that it could have been like for other shit.
Yeah, that I think is the best way to put it. Like, I don't know. I always have strong opinions when I hear when the most recent games you played, and if it's exclusive to you, it's sports games and Call of Duty. Shit, you could even throw in Fortnite if you want to, if that's the only games you play. That's when I'm like, yeah,
Honestly,
that's what I call that. You know what I call them? Tourist. And I don't say that, and I do not use that as a term of endearment. But moving on from one player base to shit on to the next player base I'm going to shit on. All right. Gotcha games. We're talking about Genshin Impact, we're talking about Zenless, Honkai Star Rail, Nikkei, any of those fucking games. This is my hot take. Gotcha games do have a chance to be fully fledged out games considering how much content they put in them, and then sometimes they actually have pretty fun gameplay mechanics, but the problem is they settle for bare minimum gameplay, a never-ending story, and art.
Art.
Quote unquote art. So let's talk about it. Like I said, I think like the perfect example of a game that could be fully fledged out, actually, like as a real game, Genshin Impact. I played that game for so fucking much, like years ago, and I just dropped it, just because it started to reach a point that like I just don't have fun feeling like I'm doing a job on this game, because it's like log on, do my dailies, use all my resources to get like artifacts and shit. It got to the point that I was like, this is not a game anymore for me. This is just becoming a job, and I'm like, fuck this. That's how I look at it. Granted, like this is like another way to kind of like loop back. I actually think it has a pretty solid story. That's the thing about these gacha games. They have actually pretty interesting stories when you consider them. The problem to me, they're never gonna fucking end, because that's the way they make you stay on those games. Story's not gonna end at all. Like for me, like if I'm playing a game, I want to see to the end of a game. Unless I don't like it, then that's a different story.
true. But again, it's like I feel like honestly, no. Like when it comes to gacha games, like I get it. You know, it's kind of like you're trying to get like the best character, you're trying to get like the best weapons and everything, but it's like fucking spending time and money just for pulls, and then not even getting like the person that you want.
Yeah, because you're always on like, because there's always like 50/50s and shit like that.
Yeah,
Even with the systems that they patent into the games, where it's like, yeah, if you lose your 50/50, you're guaranteed the premium characters. Like, it's still very annoying. But that's just how I look at it. But think about it. Looking at the quality of gacha games at times, it's like it is amazing how they're able to make these games almost to the level of a AAA title. Because, like I said, Genshin Impact, Zenless has a chance to be that too. That feels like a AA game still. Honkai Star Rail as well, and fuck, what's that other open world? There's another open
is
world.
it? Are you talking about the new one, or are you talking about
Wuthering Waves. That's what it is.
Yeah, that one.
And then even the anime GTA game as well. I have a feeling I'm probably gonna play that once and call it a day. I don't know.
You still haven't played Wuthering Waves. I doubt you're gonna play that one.
Nah, I have too many other games, dude. See, the only difference though, the only reason I would ever play these gacha games is that they have like a seamless co-op, and it's actually like worth playing co-op in those games.
Is that what you're calling your big titty goss mommy anime characters now?
Shut the fuck up, Kevin. But still, I think the only way you're gonna get me to play these games, like almost on a really consistent level, it's good co-op. That's what we need. It needs a good co-op aspect, and you could play through the story together and shit like that. But if it doesn't have any of that, yeah, it's yeah, fuck no. I wouldn't. That's just my opinion on gotchas. And especially because how much money they make too. It's like, what the fuck?
No.
Uh, okay. Yeah, looking at a lot of these though, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of these hot takes, as much as I would say I would do the individually, it is they kind of sort of overlap each other. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna add more to this gotcha take. Well, the storytelling part of it, because I'm gonna just say it. The Kingdom Hearts franchise has the same problem that gotcha games have. That story's not gonna fucking end.
Final Fantasy.
I believe that.
Well, Final Fantasy is different because each game is their own story. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts though, oh my fucking god, that shit is never going to
Never
end.
ending story.
It is never gonna end, and then not just that, because the shit is like it continues like outside the game too, because it does continue like in a comic or in the manga.
For Kingdom Hearts, hell fucking no. It's a game that you can't even play.
Ridiculous.
Like, dude, there's games that like release that are like either like mobile or PC or some shit like that. And I don't and then it's like I want to play these games because I want to get the full story. Guess what? It's shut down. And on top of it, it's like with the most recent Kingdom Hearts 3, where the fuck are the Final Fantasy characters? Because I did not see a single one. I did not see Cloud. I did not see Tifa. I did not see Leon. I did not see Aerith. None of them. So what the fuck?
So you're saying Tifa is a Disney princess?
I didn't say that.
You said that.
But still, it's just like it's the problem with like Kingdom Hearts is like they have like fully original characters too. And then they just have Final Fantasy and Disney as background characters. Like none of the, like the only character that's Disney related that affects the story, which fucking makes sense at the same time, is fucking Mickey Mouse, and that's it. Oh my god. Yeah. That's all my problem with like games is when you have like the never ending stories. Oh my god, it's so fucking annoying. Ugh. I'm gonna move on before I crash the fuck out on those fucking games. Okay. Just gonna pick these. Alright. I'm gonna combine like 3 things on this in terms of just online multiplayer. So I'm gonna just shit on online real quick, where I say so anything that's like Game Pass or even subscription type of memberships, I think are just gonna be band-aids on a really big problem with gaming. I don't know how you feel about that, Kevin, but that's just how I view it. And on top of it, I think online play should be free.
It's funny because there are some games that have online play for free. Like Fortnite's free. But
I'm talking like across the
Rivals
board, though.
is free.
Yeah, Marvel Rivals.
I think
yes.
Rivals is free too.
Mm-hmm. But I'm talking like more across the board, other than the free to play games. So like, let's say I buy Call of Duty, and I want to play online with the homies. I want to just be able to jump online and play with them.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that should be.
This should be free.
I think. I think what you call it. I think Warzone's free.
Yeah, that one's they're free to play. But I'm talking Call of Duty multiplayer.
No, I get that, but again, I think out of all that, Warzone is the only free part.
Yes.
But it kind of sucks because you're already paying for the fucking game, and then it also depends if you got the deluxe edition or not. But fucking still playing online again. Back in the day, what PlayStation that was free.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not anymore. But again, I'm gonna say I feel like it's kind of like a PlayStation thing or an Xbox thing where they did it for like like
For console, like any exclusive stuff.
no like what you call it like kind of made a deal where it's like, oh, you guys, like for your online service and everything, like Warzone could be free, but if uh if they're trying to play like online multiplayer, that's where they need to pay for subscriptions.
Yeah. Josh, I don't know if you overheard what this take is.
Mhm.
But it's
Say it again,
basically
sorry, I spoke too much.
it's two things, but the big one. So it's kind of like I put two things together, which is Game Pass slash subscription types of memberships are band-aids on a bigger gaming problem, and that online play should be free, like across the board.
I hate to say it. Online should be free across the board.
But Kevin did bring up like a pretty interesting point, which is like maybe like with Activision's, like specifically Call of Duty, for example, they said they're okay with Warzone obviously being free because that's how they promoted it, but it's like, but maybe Activision has to pay the console companies for online services, which
Yeah,
I
that sounds right.
understand from a business perspective. Consumer perspective, I think that's stupid.
Mhm.
Like, I should be able to, because for Call of Duty, let's just keep bringing Call of Duty, for example. I bought the game. I want to play online with the homies without having to pay a subscription fee to play online.
Mhm.
Because I still think it's to this day is one of the biggest scams in the world. And especially with nowadays, like, Game Pass is still, in my opinion, one of the greatest subscription types. Because you have access to many games and you get to play online. So it's a package deal. Versus like PlayStation Plus, that's hit or miss with everybody. Because Essentials is literally that. You get to play online, a couple free games monthly. That's it. But when you have people who are just playing, the sports games, your Call of Duties, that's the only reason you have PlayStation Plus. Other than that, you ain't getting PlayStation Plus because you could play Fortnite, Rivals, Warzone for free. And even GTA. Well, actually, GTA you need Plus for something like that. So, that's just my opinion on those. Uh, let's
Yeah,
see.
I'd rather I'd cheap out on the internet if that's the case. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There was a time where the Arkham series had an online mode. I never played it,
Oh yeah,
mostly
that's
because
right.
the internet,
There was like it's like a co-op mode, right, or something like that.
something like that. And then I'm like, I hate this. And
It just
the internet sucks.
oh, so that's a whole netcode thing right there.
Like I was just like, this sucks, bro. And so like, what is it? Yeah, I just never played that mode. That was from Arkham Origins, if you could believe that.
Oh my fucking god.
Fuck, I don't even remember that shit, to be honest. And I played
Arkham.
Arkham Origins.
It's probably they probably did not promote that mode very well then.
I don't know.
But I will here. I will. All right. Let's kind of talk about the good things about multiplayer. Let's. All right. And this one will be a little bit rapid fiery, kind of depending on how we go with this. First one. Proximity chat is, in my opinion, one of the greatest mechanics you could have added in a multiplayer game.
Yeah, seriously, that was good when we played that
Midnight
one
Murder
game.
Club. I have a clip on my YouTube channel, Instagram, and TikTok. If anybody follows me on those, probably the greatest use of it with Gavin losing his absolute shit with Byron.
No, seriously. Come on, fucking Byron!
It's like, Byron, what? And you hear it from like across the room. It's echoing down. It's like the funniest shit ever.
That was like the best crash out.
Oh my god. And then like you even see other clips of people like using it in like games like Lethal Company, Peak, Repo. I'm sure there's another game I'm not thinking of right now, but I think proximity chat is like one of the best things in gaming and should stay in multiplayer, like PvP.
No, seriously.
Honestly, I think proximity chat, like the way that they do it, like in Peak, they do it like in a Repo, they do it in
Lethal.
in all those games.
Mhm.
Yeah, like where the farther you are,
It actually will like lower the volume of like speech.
So that would be something good in fucking like in multiplayer. Like say Fortnite, like fucking when you're trying to
do a call out or something.
Yeah, do a call out or fucking when like it would have been funnier if they had it during like when they did like the mini pass for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh god.
And you were running like Jack Sparrow and Jack do an emo and just be like
you're just running away from like an entire like fucking squad.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say that's one way to put it. Yeah, I think proximity chat is easily like something that should be looked into for like, you know, any multiplayer game going forward, like any way to implement it. It's always going to be welcomed. Another thing I would say, like, well, this is just in my opinion, what I consider the best form of PvP, arena style, old school, like almost like Halo, even Call of Duty, like where it's just like a small, like it's just a map and I don't know, 12 players.
Gulag.
No, I do not like. Well, I mean, if you want to have like your competitive like 1v1 modes, yeah, that's fine. But like
that shit is fire.
But that style, but I would say like arena style type of multiplayer, in my opinion, is the best type of multiplayer.
Oh, kind of like how Splitgate 2 was.
Yeah, I mean kind of like Splitgate, Halo, like that type of multiplayer. I think it's the best way to do it. Even Gears. That's just in my opinion what I think is the best form of multiplayer. But that's not to say, you know, Call of Duty isn't like shit. I mean, that one's also a good choice for a multiplayer style as well. Some of these we could skip around. Let's see. Okay. So going from praising some multiplayer games, here's my hot take. In my opinion, Battle Royale is not a fun mode and is just a lazy asset flip with the exception of Fortnite.
I feel like it varies on the game.
Okay.
Yeah, it varies on the game.
So that's why I kind of put with the exception of Fortnite, because even if they, because like the closest thing they have to like an asset flip essentially for them would be Blitz, and throughout, obviously the chapters of the maps. But when you're, and that's why I put specifically the exception of Fortnite. Now, if you put like Warzone, Apex Legends, insert another battle royale I'm not thinking of. If you think about it, it's literally the same map most of the time. Unless you're Apex Legends, which they have fully, changed up maps. That's one thing.
Well, they do rotate their maps.
Mm-hmm. That's why
They do have like
specifically Apex I think
yeah.
is okay, but that doesn't mean. But some of their map design is shit. Like Kings Canyon, World's End, I think are the best maps of that game, and then everything else is kind of varying.
It
No,
varies.
I kind of because the shit is like same thing with Warzone. Warzone does rotate their maps, but I kind of hate it. Like every time that the new Call of Duty comes out, they kind of like archive their older maps and then bring them back like later on.
Yeah, that I think is very annoying. Now, if Fortnite does have that chance to steal like Apex's idea of actually having a rotating map, but I would do that in Blitz specifically, along with the loot pool change. It would be a kind of, I don't know how taxing that would be on their end, but I think that would be the best way to use like a map rotation in Blitz mode specifically.
Honestly, yes, because even now they're kind of like in a way kind of like rotating their maps, like the way that they're
Kind of like, because like right now it's the
yeah.
Stark Island. When before it was like an amalgamation of like chapter 4.
Yeah, honestly. And again, it's like I played like those I played that season. It was way better. Like the
When they were like a full map.
full map, yeah, because the thing is like you had like Starks.
It's just like
You
it
had
seems like it's just like a
you had his
quarter of that map.
yeah, you had his factory. You had what else? You had a cabin, and then you had where the places where you had to go and try to get the what you call it
The Iron Man suit.
no, not the Iron Man suit. The beacons because you were
Hmm.
fighting Galactus.
Ah, okay. So
Again, great season. Yeah, it kind of sucks you missed out on it.
I mean, well, we're forgetting the fact that there's a reason I didn't play Fortnite until a certain point, because it was what made Fortnite Fortnite.
Uh you're gooning.
No, building to goon. But I mean, like I
But
said,
again,
go on,
oh
Kev.
no, like for me, like even with the building, I didn't even when I was playing, I never built.
Me too. But I felt cooler. I really did feel cooler when I learned how to like go online and like, oh, okay, just get away from him like this. Okay, just put this. I was like, oh shit, okay, this is
Uh,
I don't know.
I mean, no matter what, I just don't like that aspect of the game. Like, I don't want to I don't want to try to go into a gunfight, hit somebody once, and then I see the Eiffel Tower in 2 seconds.
Oh man.
And that's just me though. If I want to play a shooter, I want to play a shooter, not shooter plus Minecraft.
Oh, that shit's funny.
Okay. All right. Let's kind of talk about like something that's a little in my wheelhouse that we kind of alluded a little bit to earlier when it comes to fighting games. But this is gonna be another kind of combine it because they sort of overlap each other. Um, so I would probably say, in my opinion, in terms of fighting games, they're the most fun to learn, or when you're like learning them, and I mean like dedicating obviously like a certain amount of time, even like going into like looking up how people play the game as well, and playing it with friends. That's what I would say as the best time. That's the best time to play fighting games is learning is you're learning them and you're playing them with your homies. I know
I
Kevin
still
has
hate you.
yeah, Kevin has a completely different opinion. But even like but and the good thing is you're here too, Josh, because like even you said that like you actually were enjoying like when we were going hard on Tekken 7. Like when you actually went into training and you said you actually dug it.
Whoa. Oh gosh. Okay. Just like Tetris, just like fucking, the Hitman games, it's just like FIFA. It's it's the same game. But uh, I haven't played the other ones either. I haven't played Street Fighter, I haven't played Capcom, Marvel, or any of that. So like whenever I get into those, to it's weird, all right? If you keep the same moves, perfect. But I think the moves change per game, per character, and that's what frustrates me because now I have to learn another thing, and I'm just like,
You know what's funny is that's kind of in a way I mean because the reason I only bring up Tekken is just because they practically have the same moves, maybe a couple changes, but for the most part it's like it's 90% the same.
And you're right about that. It's 90%. That extra 10% fucks me up.
And it's like yeah, the 10% is literally in game like in terms of fighting games, it's literally different mechanics and then maybe a couple additional moves depending on your character.
Ugh.
Like I'd argue even like with Street Fighter, kind of sort of the same story where it's like obviously we use the main character, fucking Ryu. He has practically the same moves since like the freaking Street Fighter 2 with a couple changes. But he's fundamentally the same character usually. But the one game that is very different though, most of the time, anything from NRS. So your Mortal Kombat, your Injustice, outside of Superman for Injustice, practically every character feels different. Like from each
Injustice
game.
is fake.
Yeah, dude. I hate Injustice now. Injustice 1 like for the win, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The second one sucks.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Injustice 2. I mean, let's just know, just don't be surprised when Injustice 3 gets announced. I'm sending that shit to everybody. I just know Gavin and I are going to be on it.
I'll be on it. I liked it. I can't say I didn't like it. I like how okay, there you go. I like how short the combos are compared to Tekken.
Well, Tekken has a very, very long fucking combos. But in terms of like, the only thing is for me, like when it comes to Injustice, is because the game kind of gets figured out very fast. And that might be more of a generally speaking an NRS problem. Their games are the easiest to figure out, in my opinion. And I think that's why I can play them at like a pretty decent level versus like anything else. Although Tokon is kind of the weird story. Injustice is fake.
Because how can you defeat Superman if Superman it's super strong? So it's fake.
But what if you're playing Batman?
Then it's real.
It's fucking
okay,
real.
you want me? Then let me tell you something, Kevin. Remember, in Mortal Kombat 1, we got fucking Ghostface. A dude with a knife. He can fight a fucking god. And beat him. Then what is Mortal Kombat?
A dream come true.
It is a dream. A reminder.
Hey, wait, didn't they have Freddy Krueger?
Mortal Kombat 9 did.
Yeah, see, it's a dream because Freddy Krueger was.
Shut the fuck. That's one way to put it. But don't forget, also, Jason Voorhees can fight Leatherface in Mortal Kombat X. Is that considered a dream as well?
No, that's called a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, true. And then you can get actual Alien versus Predator too. So, yep. That's just how but yeah, I think but still, I usually think like, and then again, it's just my opinion of just like how I just feel about fighting games like as a whole. That's usually the most fun time you could play them is when you're learning and you're playing with friends who also want to learn it too. Because like for me, like I think Marvel Tokon is probably it's gonna be in that honeymoon phase for I'm probably gonna give it like 2 months, maybe a month, depending on how. Because it's like weirdly simple. It's simple yet complicated at the same time. And mind you, this is like my limited beta experience with Tokon.
Did we miss the fucking other beta fucking chances? No, I'm not thinking about it.
For Tokon?
Yes.
There hasn't been any other ones. It was only that weekend.
The fuck? I was trying to play on Sunday. Fucking didn't even go in on Sunday.
Did you check the times? Because remember, they had it on like random limited times.
I know. Fuck. That was like stupid.
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like about that one. But, all right, moving. Okay, I'll just say this one real quick about specifically anime arena fighters, and I'll even say anime RPGs, cash grabs. And when I say anime arena fighters, yes, I'm talking about fucking Sparking Zero. I'm sure I just lost. I lost 2 subscribers off that.
I'm unsubscribing right now too.
Okay, make that 3.
Again, like for me, I don't know. Like when it came to Sparking Zero, it just reminded me of my childhood. It wasn't like for anything else. Like, but for me, it was just literally just my childhood.
Hmm. I mean, I can understand that. I mean, it's like, go on.
Yeah, because I did play Budokai and Budokai Tenkaichi.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that, that's not the wrong mindset to have as well, but it's just in my opinion, specifically, like, the second I saw Sparking Zero be like that type of game, I was just like, this has only like one chance for it to be like a decent game, and of course it fell off like a cliff.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't even hopped back on it.
There's no reason to.
But
he's got no players.
Well, it's not even that. Like I was just playing for the story mode. I never even finished the story mode, but it's like again, it's like kind of like because before, like again, I'll play with my brothers and everything, but now it's like I don't know. I always end up playing multiplayer.
Mm.
Because again, I'm on Fortnite, I'm on the finals, I'm on what other game?
I don't know, just insert another multiplayer game. By the way, Josh, we do not hear you right now. At least I don't know if you were trying to say anything. Oh, there you go. I didn't know if you were saying anything. That's why. I just saw you were doing something.
I hate the fact that if I stay silent, this goes off.
Oh Jesus!
And like, oh Jesus. Yeah. So that's what happens if I come in and out randomly. So my apologies. Anyway, continuing.
But yeah, like I don't know. It's just for me, like every time I see like any of those anime like arena fighters, and then even anime RPGs. Josh, move your mic away from the. I'm hearing myself. That's why. Okay. But any of those anime arena fighters or like the ARPGs, I just always view it as cash grabs. Well, granted, ARPGs is kind of a different story because that one's more of a single player, and I'm never going to be mad about that. But I know sometimes they could vary. They could vary. Like, what is it? Like, what was the last Dragon Ball like single player? Was it Kakarot?
Carrot. Yeah.
Because they had Kakarot and then they had
Xenoverse.
yeah, Xenoverse. But I think Kakarot was the last one though.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people like that one. And yeah, I think that's the only one I could think of like immediately. But I'd say like the worst cases for like anime like arena fighters that were like straight cash grabs, Jump Force. I don't want to hear.
Honestly, like I feel like I have like good moments with Jump Force when I played it.
And only
But again, that was me.
And the only reason I say that specifically with Jump Force is because it had potential to be something interesting, and then I saw the gameplay and I said, I don't like this anymore. See, if it was a real fighter.
You was mad because you couldn't fucking summon all 3 Egyptian gods at the same time. Oh wait, did this shit crash out?
Oh no. Oh no.
Sorry, my game bud's like literally just like shut off randomly.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, what I was saying is like you're just mad because you couldn't summon all 3 Egyptian gods at the same time.
I never even bought the game, so who's the loser now?
Everybody was free at some point.
I care less if it was free at one point. But I'm still gonna. I mean, let's put it this way. The only thing is, my only problem with specifically those like anime arena fighters, they're literally visual marvels. I'll say that much. Because like, what do you go into those games for? The supers. You go into the games for the supers, but you don't go into the games for actual like gameplay. So
Again, when I played it, I had fun with it. I really, it was something different. But again, that was me.
Yeah. Like, and for anybody and anyone who is still like on this episode, thanks. First of all, thank you guys for watching through this point.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you're wrong for liking it. It's just I have a strong opinion on stuff like that. So don't worry about
Big
if you like it, hey, good for you. It's just not for me personally. Okay. We're starting to reach like a point that like we probably could wrap the episode, but I think we gotta hit on a really big one.
Oh yeah, baby.
Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay. I think this is a good one we could end on. We're gonna talk about the 2 generations of gaming. So right now we're currently in the 9th generation of gaming. And here's what I can say about the 9th generation. This is the greatest third-party generation of gaming.
Oh gosh.
And when I say third-party, I'm talking about titles that are multi-platform. Or even like, You could even argue some of the timed exclusive ones, so like Final Fantasy 16 and FF7 as well. Those were timed exclusives or like stuck to like PlayStation deals, and then they eventually released on everywhere else.
Mhm.
And I mean, you could kind of say Spider-Man as well. But while the ninth generation is the greatest generation of like third-party gaming, I'd say general gaming, like everything from third parties to first parties, the seventh generation is the best. And for those who don't know what the seventh generation is, we're talking Xbox 360, PS3, and the Wii.
Yeah. PS3 and the Wii. I wish I had an Xbox 360 at the time, but I did have at one time a PS3, a Wii, and I think it was my iPhone, and that's it. Like, wow. Now it's like, fuck me. I've reached like a robotic technological wave.
Kevin, what is your opinion on those?
I didn't have a PS3 at the time. I only had like a 360 and the Wii. But again, I honestly miss my fucking 360 at times
Mm-hmm.
just because of fucking Halo 3
Oh
and
yeah,
Gears of War 2.
and Reach. Remember Reach, okay?
Fuck, don't remind me of Reach.
Uh
Reach.
but that's why in my opinion, I think the seventh generation as a whole, like we're not even just talking about just like exclusively just gaming, even in pop culture. That generation has defined like a lot of things as a whole. Because you can even argue like, obviously the PS3, despite it having like a really rough launch and what being retailed at like $600 or something like that at that time.
Way.
Yeah, it was expensive. A PS3 was really expensive. And I think that's probably like the only issue it had. Like I'll Google it for you just to be on the safe side. But talk amongst yourselves, like about that generation.
Oh yeah. I am almost done with Hogwarts Legacy.
Let's see. Yes. So the PS3, yes, at launch was $600.
Damn, how was the wait? How much was the 360 back then, though?
Let's take a look.
About $360.
Imagine. That would be so funny if that would be like a hilarious like marketing tactic. 400. It was actually close.
I was close.
Josh was close. But $400. That's actually, if you can
tags, $400.
So $400 for an Xbox 360. So let's just to consider, the $200 difference. I mean, still granted, like I said, gaming at that point was was quite the era. And I think that's what it's always going to boil down to. I think just gaming as a whole is when it started to join the mainstream culture. Not with obviously, really good titles, Uncharted, Halo, Gears, Mortal Kombat came back finally, and then Street Fighter 4 even released around that point as well. So that's how I view specifically like that seventh generation. That's where I have the most fondest of memories in terms of gaming. And yeah, even and we mentioned it before, the Batman Arkham games also came around that point too.
God, man.
What? Yeah. It's quite a fucking time, huh?
I miss the old Arkham series. Ugh.
Just remember, you could buy the whole Arkham collection, usually on sale. It's like $5 normally, or like usually it's on $5, like as low as I've seen.
Uh, it very. I think they had like the trilogy. Isn't the trilogy was
Yeah,
like
it's
for
like
$20 at one point?
yeah, usually that trilogy. I always like keep an eye on it for it to go on sale. Like I actually, you know what's funny too is like I still have like a quote unquote like failed. Well, I wouldn't call it failed, but it's on pause. Arkham, like I had a whole streaming series I was gonna do, but obviously with the
God, we gotta do that, man.
well, I've only done Arkham Asylum. That's the thing, but like I'm moving into
If
the
you
old.
do the next one, I go okay. The first 2 games I got platinum.
Yeah, because Arkham Asylum I played on stream. Like this was when I was still living in Cali, and I have not. I've been too busy with like other games, like I said. But I will eventually get to the Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, and then Arkham Knight, and then I'll try. And then I want to try to figure out how do I play Arkham Origins.
Is it get a 360?
Oh, you're gonna love it. I'll
If
tell you
anyone
that.
can find like a Xbox 360 at like a reasonable price, then I'll probably buy it.
I can say you a modded one.
Oh,
Is it
hey, shit! If you
still-
want to do that for me, fuck, dude. Just
Yeah, say yeah. I didn't say I'll buy you one.
well, what if it says you buy it for me and then you just tell me how much it is along with the modding and then go and I'll go from there.
Actually, let me ask my connect.
Yeah, just ask your connect on that and then we'll go from there. But
Okay, I think I need one more.
but yeah, I think that's yeah, 7th generation, like I said, probably is peak era gaming as a whole. And it's not to say, and I would argue like even 8th generation was good. This generation has been weird, just as a whole. Yeah, I think
Honestly,
this generation feels like
Ace,
the. Go on.
I was gonna say honestly for Ace, I feel like Ace, it really didn't have any like decent games. It had like a few, but not as good as like for
It's
7th.
not to the level of 7th generation.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think like the 8th generation is like there were definite like moments in gaming where they were pretty good. But if you're gonna be like 7th versus 8th generation, that's really gonna depend on the person. And then obviously, and the 9th generation just feels like the fucking filler era. It feels like a filler episode. There's our anime reference for the day.
and it's villain arc.
Yeah, well, I think the 10th generation might be the villain arc of all the games. I don't know. That's my guess. Which is corporate greed.
Corporate greed.
But I think that's a good one to wrap it up, guys. Yeah, this list was way too fucking big, but in a way, like the more I looked at it, it was kind of like they sort of overlapped each other, in terms of the discussions. But
Yeah.
if anybody if I'd be down to do like another hot takes episode. Shit, we might even do like a part 2 to this topic as well. And then I could probably like centralize the ones that I'm thinking of. But we're gonna go ahead. We'll go wrap up the episode right there. Josh, where can everyone find you?
You could find me at RDYRMND. Read Your Mind on Instagram, Facebook, even YouTube. My and Apple Music and Spotify, and chances are your favorite listening platform, right? RDYRMND. Read Your Mind.
Hell yeah.
For some lo-fi, jazz music, hip hop, study beats, cinematic. It's all there.
And Kevin, where can everyone find you?
Everyone can find me at Fortnite or the finals, either or.
You can find him at Ultdemon on those games or on Instagram as well when he finally gets started on the content creation run.
When I get the goddamn new capture card, that's one thing.
hey, we'll keep it as a project for now. It's a project.
Hell
And you can find me, Zero Requiem 14, on this very YouTube channel, along with Instagram, TikTok when I do upload on it, but mostly Instagram, that's where you'll find me. And thank you guys for joining me on this episode of the podcast. The next few weeks are going to be a little weird, especially because there's going to be one day that I'm not going to be here for the normal recording time. So if you do see a podcast, like, shit, maybe even 2 podcasts this week, we'll see. But we'll probably have we'll either have another gaming hot takes episode, or we'll even have our standard news and random yapping sessions like we always do. But anyways, thank you guys for listening to this, and we'll see you on the next pod. Take care, have a good day, good evening, good night, and stay safe.